I don't know why, but I'm getting an idea to share with you my song that's dedicated to the people who think that Judaism is not allowed to be fun. And here's the song. Hag me nicht kan China.
Hag me nicht kan China.
Freight mir in Pittsburgh too. That's why we're out of singing.
That's why we're out of singing.
Freight mir in Pittsburgh blues. Can I know her Lord?
Can I know her Lord?
Baby's got a new pair of shoes.
Baby's got a new pair of shoes.
That's why we're out of singing.
Oh, that's why we're out of singing.
A freight mir in Pittsburgh blues. Now you and me, baby.
Hey, you and me, baby.
We both got nothing to lose. Why don't you come and join me? A freight mirror and Pittsburgh blues. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man.
Mr. Tambourine Man.
You can sing 'em in Yiddish too.
Sing 'em in Yiddish too.
That's why we're out of singing.
That's why we're out of singing.
A freight mirror and Pittsburgh blues. Now come on, children.
Come on, children.
We're gonna have some fun.
We're gonna have some fun.
You ain't seen nothing like the Holy One. Tell me how long do I have to wait? Mashiach now, or must I hesitate? Da-da-ba-ba-ya-ba-ba. Da-da-ba-ba-ba. Mama, hey ya ya ya, mama, hey ya ya, mama. Hey ya, hey ya ya.
Ba-da-ba-dee-ba-ba.
Da-da-ba-ba-ya-ba-ba-ba. Hey ya ya. Tell me how long do I have to wait? Can I get Mashiach now? Or must I hesitate? Da-da-ba.
Yeah.
That's life. Hey kids, what time is it?
Hey, it's time for Gezintahait.
It is time for Gezintahait. And the story for tonight, you may have heard this story before, but a story you could tell more than once, is called the dot in Modeh Ani. Modeh Ani is a favorite prayer, a famous prayer, for those of you who don't know, that we say right away when we get up in the morning before we wash our hands and our face. And in English, I offer thanks to you, living and eternal King, for you have restored my soul to me with mercy.
Mercy.
Great is your faithfulness. And whoever doesn't do this yet in the morning should start to do it. It doesn't cost you more than a minute, and you're declaring the beginning of your day is built on serving Hashem. The previous Rebbe, that wasn't part of the story, that was an introduction. The previous Rebbe related a conversation between the two sons of the Rebbe Marash, meaning his father and his uncle. His father was 9 years old, Sholem Dovber. He would later be the Rebbe Rashad. And his brother, the 11 years old, Zalman Aron, known as the Razah. So there was a 9-year-old and an 11-year-old. The 11-year-old asked the younger Sholem Ber to explain the function of the dot after the word in mercy. I offer thanks to you, living and eternal King, have restored my soul to me in mercy. And then there's a dot. Great is your faithfulness. The 9-year-old kid answered that the dot is the symbolic vessel which contains the whole idea that Hashem returns our Jewish soul to us every day with great mercy. The older brother said, if Hashem gives us our soul back with great mercy every day, why do we have to pray? Why do we have to daven? The 9-year-old Rashab explained that the dot symbolizes of the soul in the heart of every Jew. My heart is Jewish. The whole function and intention of the dot is to spread out through the daily prayers until it becomes revealed in all of the limbs. That's why we have to pray, to spread out and reveal the dot of the essence of our soul. And this can be seen by the fact that the word bechemla, mercy, occurs later in prayers. Later on, it says in mercy. It says your love is everlasting. And in that case, there is no dot. This indicates that one's prayers brought about its revelation and actualization. The dot has spread out. At that point, God's merciful act of restoring the essence of the Jew has become manifest. You know what manifest means?
Manifest.
It actually happened.
It happened. It just happened.
Some years later, the Rebbe Rashab expanded on this earlier teaching that the dot Modeh Ani symbolizes the inner point of the Jewish heart, which defines the essence of a Jew. The dot needs to spread out to become revealed in all the limbs of the body. And that dynamic must take place in every Jew. The Rashab added that the law is that one who has not yet purified himself, meaning he hasn't washed his hands yet, through washing his hands, he's not yet performed a mitzvah or learned Torah. He still says, Modeh Ani, thank you for my soul. Thank you for implanting the Jewish soul in my heart. Even though I haven't purified myself, I haven't done a mitzvah, I haven't learned any Torah, but the inner point of the Jewish soul you gave me. And that prayer, thank you for my soul, continues with the expression, living and existing king, even one who has questions, and as a result is unable to expand the point of his Jewishness to all the limbs of his body, has to know that despite his blockage, no Jew can be separated from his essential point. Is a modernity. It's not dependent on a person's choice, not dependent on his desire. Hashem gives him the person the inner essence of his Jewish existence against his will. And I'm talking to you, whoever's listening to me. With mercy, he gives it. The gift is not to make things difficult for the person. Like people say, it's hard to be a Jew. Just the opposite. It comes from Hashem's unbounded grace and mercy in order to be manifest in this physical world in which the soul has to dwell. Great is your trustworthiness. Bechem lo rabo, amunasecho. We can ask a question. The person has no tools and vessels, process of manifesting that grace and mercy. At this point, he hasn't yet purified himself through washing his hands or connected to Hashem through a mitzvah. He doesn't even know yet what the Torah teaches and what the mitzvahs are. So what's the point of recognizing and thanking Hashem for returning a Jewish essence? He hasn't connected with Hashem yet. The Rebbe Shab answers that every Jew has innate faith and trust in Hashem. Like it says, the children of Israel are believers, the sons of believers. And from this starting point of faith, he widens the dot until it's drawn completely into his whole being. Then, with his great faith, he reaches the first blessing prior to Shema Yisrael. You have loved us with an everlasting love. And from there, he attains the second level of in mercy, in which we declare he chose his children from among the peoples, our King, who brings us close to his great name, godly revelation with love. And this is the continuing lesson recounted by a Rebbe, the Rebbe Rashab, who was the son of a Rebbe, the Rebbe Marash. The Jew has to know that he's a subject of the living and eternal King, who is the King of this physical universe, and who, in his great mercy, implanted the inner essential point of Jewishness in each Jew. And that King commands him, it's now time to stand and pray, and to know in front of whom you are standing. The world is not an empty. There's a master of this town. There's a living and eternal King, and the function of the prayers is for the Jew to reveal that essence point into his whole existence, from where it can be further drawn to the portion of the world for which he is responsible, until the world is illuminated by that point of godliness.
We want Mashiach now.
We want Mashiach.
Blame.
How do you know?
You have a niggin you can sneeze out?
Yes. Let's do, in honor of that, let's do it for hot stuff.
Oh, okay.
Okay, give me a space. Wait, I'll help us with it. It's not too fast.
Hey yo, for that's the young mother game more. Hey yo, for that's the Hey yo, for that's the young mother game more. Hey yo, for that's the ah, oh, Hayamo walking more so fino running bo Yamo walking more so fino running bo Hayo that's the yamo walking more Hayo that's the so fino running bo Hayo that's the yamo walking more Oh that's the so fino running bo Aha Oh, that's the your mother walking more, so fino, walking more, your mother walking more, so fino, so fino, I walking more, your mother walking more, so fino, walking more. Hey yo, that's the your mother walking more. Oh, that's the Savina walking more. Hey yo, that's the your mother walking more. Oh, that's the Savina walking
Very good, very good. Good job.
How do you do? Good job. Good job. So we said that Moshe has the potential to reveal the light within every Jew. Like the story that we just read, the Rebbe Hershel has to let us know we have this essential point of Jewishness in our heart and we have to spread it out. But the actual expression of that essential godliness of the Jewish soul is accomplished through the extension of Moshe in the times of exile. In other words, at the time of Moshe, they had revelations of godliness. They didn't need to reveal the essence of the soul to be connected to Hashem because Hashem was connected to them through revelations. He took them out of Egypt with great wonders. He split the sea for them. When they got to Sinai, it was smoking on the mountain, and the mountain was on fire, and Hashem spoke to them face to face. So they didn't have revelation of the soul. But in the times of exile, when the Jews are crushed, then the ability to give themselves away, the ability of Mesiras Nefesh of the Jewish people, is the real fundamental expression of the essence of the soul. It says in Purim time, when the Gezerah, how do you say Gezerah? The decree of Amen, that the Jews would all be killed, and that's when they revealed their Mesiras Nefesh, their ability to give up their lives for their connection with God. And the Jews accepted what they had already begun. They begun at Mount Sinai, but at the time of Purim, that's when they really accepted and established it. And not only that, it wasn't just that they accepted and established it at the time of the Purim miracle, when they put their lives on the line. They accepted and established it after the miracle was done. And they had good fortune, and they had light, and they had revelation, and they had all the money, and they were the respected people in the country. And at that time, they were still crushed. We see then there's two dimensions to the acceptance at the time of Achashverosh. The process that was begun at the beginning of the Torah. One, the acceptance at the time of Haman's decree as expressed by their self-sacrifice, like it says in the mimer of Akiva Yudin, but the previous Rebbe's mimer, and the Jews accepted. So that was, they put their lives on the line, and there was a miracle that the sleep of the king was awakened, and Achashverosh saw that really His main guy was Mordechai, and the Jews were able to be saved. But then you have the second acceptance, not at the time of the miracle, not at the time when they stood for a whole year in Mesiras Nefesh, ready to give up their lives for the Torah. It came after the miracle of Purim, which is in a higher plane than the acceptance during the time of decree. When the Jews are crushed because of the oppression of other nations, that's the who passed decrees against the observance of Torah and mitzvahs, as was the case at the time of the previous Rebbe in Russia. They really had to give up their lives in order to uphold the Torah and mitzvahs. And they were crushed, and they reached the level of the luminary. But that's only the first level, at the time of the miracle of Purim. But the other dimension of the phrase crushed for the luminary, even when the Jews are living in a state of prosperity, like us, both in a material and a spiritual sense. We can do all the mitzvahs without having to worry about the government. And we have our material needs. We still feel crushed. Why? Because of the very fact that we are living in exile. We don't have a place on Mikdash. We don't have a king in Jerusalem. We don't have our own country. After the Purim miracle, the Jews enjoyed light and joy, gladness and honor, in the literal as well in the spiritual sense. Moreover, Haman's house was given to Esther. He had a pretty good estate, Haman. Nevertheless, they were still in exile, and they were crushed from that. It's like us. It's like in our generation with our Rebbe. We're in exile, and it's sufficient to bring them to a state where they feel crushed. We want Mashiach now.
We want Mashiach now.
And through the crushed state, they reach the luminary. The godly essence of the soul could be revealed. The very fact that a Jew is in exile, even when he's blessed with material and spiritual prosperity, makes him feel broken and crushed. The true desire of every Jew is that there be a revelation of godliness. And this desire for the revelation of godliness affects the very essence of his being. In exile, godliness is not revealed. Ladies and gentlemen, children, we want a revelation of God. We want Mashiach now. To the same extent as in the time of the Mesa Mikdash. It jolts every fiber of our being that there's not a revelation of godliness. When the infinite dimension of the Ein Sof is revealed, that revelation will permeate every place. As long as there is one little place, one little corner, even a far removed corner, where godliness is not revealed, the revelation is limited. And that limitation affects even the place where the light shines. And when a Jew, and these feelings are inherent in all Jews, does not perceive the revelation of the essence of the godly light, he's broken and crushed. Like the Alter Rebbe said, Gimmel, what did the Alter Rebbe say?
He said a lot of things, but
he said, I don't want your Gan Eden, I don't want your paradise.
Ich will nicht Kedele Misalyenim.
I don't want your world to come. I don't want revelation, the resurrection of the dead. I don't want your world to come. I want nothing else but you.
No, dir allein.
Dear Elaine, but you yourself. And once the Alter Rebbe revealed it, it endows each and every Jew with the potential to have a similar desire. Until the Alter Rebbe revealed it, who knew there's such a thing? We wondered what would help us to feel better. But now we don't want nothing. The Alter Rebbe led the way, and he told us all we want is Hashem himself. And that's a fundamental desire, to be that there is a revelation of God's essence. And moreover, this desire is so powerful that when such a revelation does not shine forth, and how much more so in exile, when we are lacking even the revelation of light that existed in the time of the Beis Hamikdash, the person is crushed. Their eyes behold, you return to Zion and mercy. That is, that there be a revelation of godliness, and indeed a revelation of God's essence. And the feelings of being crushed that stem from our being in exile. You think you're depressed because you don't have money. You think you're depressed because of whatever reason. No, you're depressed because you're in exile, because godliness is not revealed. And we want to be brought to the light, the desire of every Jew for the revelation of godliness, and the fact that this desire affects the very essence of his being, to the extent that he's broken and crushed in the time of exile, when there's no revelation of godliness, is an expression of the essence of the soul's light, the connection shared with God. At that level is essential in nature, that connection with God. It's not a bond between two different entities, but a single essential union. Us with Hashem. And as bad as it is for us, the anguish that Hashem has and that the Rebbe has when this union is sundered is something that should be able to bring us around to make that bond and reveal that bond with Hashem. And that's the real faith of the Jewish people. The faith that comes about because in the spiritual realms, the soul perceives godliness. The faith that stems from an external cause, like we had revelations of godliness in Mount Sinai. And that can be compared to the willingness to accept the Torah. God says, yeah, we'll take it. In contrast, the Jews' acceptance in the time of Achashverosh came on their own volition. No revelation, the opposite. It was complete darkness. They were going to be killed. At that time, the connection with godliness that stems from the essence of their souls was revealed. That is an essential bond that reflects the essence of their being. You guys want to do a niggun?
Yeah, but before we do the niggun, I want to sing a tnua, a movement. Ich will nicht kein Elemes Elyonim, I don't want your upper worlds. Ich will nicht kein Elemes Tachtonim, I don't want your lower worlds. Ich will nur dir allein, I want only you alone. It's a tnua for Moshe Maraza.
Oh, now it's time to do a nigga.
Yeah. Ich will nicht kein Elemes Elyonim. Ich will nicht kein Elemes Tachtonim. Ich will him allein. Ich will kein Elemes Elyonim. Ich will nicht kein Elemes Tachtonim. Ich will mein Nor dir allein. Ja, my Lada. Ich will, oh, you know, dir darling. No, late now a niggin you have in mind. That was the tnuah before the niggin.
It sounds like
Yehi rotzen, Yehi rotzen, Yehi rotzen, Yehi rotzen milchonecho. Hashem Elokeinu Velekei Havriseinu Ati, won't you do a good thing and please return me to your people? And the angels all sing, oh glorious King, won't you please return with your people? Oh, they made you a crown, won't you come back to town? And please return with your people. Oh, Tati, our King, you know it don't mean a thing unless you please return me to your people. Beis Hamikdash b'meira b'yameinu v'sein chelkeinu v'seirasecho Beis Hamikdash b'meira b'yameinu v'sein chelkeinu v'seirasecho Hey, Shekbonne Beis Hamikdash b'meira b'yameinu Sein chelkeinu v'seirosecho Sheiron Beis Hamikdash b'meiro b'yomeinu Sein chelkeinu v'seirosecho Sheiron Hamikdash b'meiro b'yomeinu Sein chelkeinu v'seirosecho Beis Hamikdash b'meira b'yomeinu v'sein chelkeinu v'seirosecho Hey, Seibone Beis Hamikdash b'meira b'yomeinu v'sein chelkeinu v'seirosecho Beis Hamikdash b'meira b'yomeinu v'sein chelkeinu v'seirosecho Sheibone Beis Hamikdash b'meira b'yomeinu v'sein chelkeinu v'seirosecho Sheibone Beis Hamikdash b'meira b'yomeinu v'sein chelkeinu v'seirosecho
Hot stuff, baby. Hot stuff. Thank you. The day-to-day function, our day-to-day function is controlled by our revealed powers, meaning the 10 powers of our soul, intellect, and emotions. The essence of the soul by transcendent quality, stemming from and unified with God's essence. and thus is unlimited. And Mesiras Nefesh, giving ourselves away, is an appropriate channel for the expression of the dimension a step beyond one's individual personality, and a revelation of the unbounded nature of the soul. External influence in relation to a person's revealed powers, that is, it's a different source of influence than that which usually controls his conscious functioning. This revelation of the essence of the soul is higher than intellect. In the years in Russia, when the previous Rebbe was the Rebbe, and Stalin was arresting everybody and throwing them in jail in Siberia and killing them. Why? Because they were teaching kids about Torah and mitzvahs. There were those who had Mesiras Nefesh continuously for many years, when they were living in that country where they were an oppressive gullus with bad decrees, which conflicted with Torah and mitzvahs. When, however, these same individuals came to a country where they could observe the Torah and the mitzvahs, amidst bounty, the Mesiras Nefesh, which they had previously displayed, does not stand out. Why? Because the Mesiras Nefesh they expressed throughout the years granted a revelation of the essence of the soul, which transcends their revealed powers. Revelation spurred these individuals to deeds which were truly lofty, but it did not elevate the people themselves. They didn't reveal their essential connection and bond with Hashem. They were able to do Mesiras Nefesh because they had revelations. Okay, it was a negative revelation, and they were fighting against it, but there was a revelation. But as individuals, they remained on the same spiritual level as before. But the essence of the soul, as it's rooted in God's essence, does not have any definition whatsoever. On the contrary, God's essence cannot be defined in terms of finiteness or infinity, nor can God's essence be said to be void of either of these dimensions. You can't say that God is infinite, you can't say he's finite, and you can't say he doesn't have infiniteness and finiteness. He's above it all and he contains it all. Similarly, the essence of the soul is the same way because it's the essence of the God. So the essence of the soul possesses a simple, transcendent dimension and a framework of limited powers. So in my limited powers could be revealed the essence of my soul. It combines both these dimensions in a single absolute unity. What are the two dimensions, Gimmel Aleph? A transcendent, simple thing that's above any simple revelation of godliness, and at the same time,
It contains everything.
it contains the essence of the soul. All of the powers, the intellectual and emotional powers, are also contained in it. So the light of the soul revealed through Mesiras Nefesh refers to that aspect of the essence of the soul that's defined as a transcendent entity, above the framework of revealed powers. The dimension of the light of the soul, which is revealed through the feelings of... Because of the exile is a revelation of the essence of the soul, as it is rooted in God's essence. So Moshe commanded the children of Israel, bring to you pure olive oil. And after Moshe Rabbeinu connects the Jewish people with the infinite light, the Jews will bring Moshe that olive oil. They will add to the revelation of light on Moshe's level. They're the feet and he's the head, and they're able to raise the head up to a higher level. Why? Because they bring this oil that's crushed for the luminary. And in our individual divine service, Moshe's endeavor to connect the Jewish people with the infinite life involves sustaining and nurturing faith, internalizing faith, bringing out a higher dimension of faith. It doesn't only come from the revealed powers of the soul. The ultimate of this being, the perception of godliness by the soul in the spiritual realms. In other words, it's not that. It's not that there's a perception of the soul of godliness. But faith can be expressed in the level of the essence of the soul. No revelations at all. Now we can explain why it says Moshe shall command the children of Israel. It means to connect. The children of Israel means that Moshe will establish bonds of connection among the Jewish people themselves, not just between the Jews and God, but each Jew will be connected to the other one with bonds of love. And from the standpoint of the essence of the soul, the entire Jewish people are a single entity. We're all the essence of God, and He's the essence of us. And the unity within Jewish people that stems from the revelation of the essence of the soul is like an additional thing, something apart from. Therefore, this unity comes about through considering one's soul of primary importance and one's body as subordinate. In contrast, the revelation of the essence of the soul as it's rooted in God's essence affects the revealed powers as they exist within their own framework and is one with God's essence. And this brings about oneness among the Jewish people in all matters, even those matters involving material concerns. Not just for one spiritually, we are one completely, body and soul, all the Jews together. And through our divine service, we increase Moshe's level. We bring the Rebbe to a higher level, causing it to serve as a constant light in Ner Tamid. On the surface, the lamp of the soul, the lamp of God, is the soul of man, like it says. The soul of man is the candle of God, and it shines constantly in a consistent, unchanging manner. Through the essence of the soul that's drawn down by Moshe. And you shall connect the children of Israel to the infinite life. For in regard to the essence of the soul, there is no concept of change. You like a unending light. But there is in the next sentence, it says you should light, it should be lit. How do you say it?
From the evening till the morning.
From the evening to the morning. So that's not a constant light. The fundamental revelation of this quality comes when there is concealment and veils from morning to night. For this arouses and reveals the power of Mesiras Nefesh. You want to do a niggin?
Let's do a niggin, late.
You have a niggin loaded in that machine gun, late?
We have to pick up where we left off and do it again.
Oh, you don't stop your pito.
No, the one we did before. We just did.
You're gonna do it again.
Let's do it again.
Same one.
Why again?
It's a different one.
Okay, all right.
Oh, what the Shabbos was? Yeah. So when we start. Yeah. Ready?
Beautiful. It strikes me as, after you hear this stuff from the Rebbe, it's obvious. But unless you hear it from the Rebbe first, it's not obvious. It's like Moshe Rabbeinu fed the people with knowledge. And the Rebbe here is feeding us with knowledge. But in order to reveal this power of giving ourselves away for godliness, to reveal the essence of our soul, to be crushed in the fact that Mashiach is not here yet. And that reveals the essence of our soul. And if you look on the other side of it, there's the essence of Hashem wants to reveal his essence in the world. And his essence in the world becomes revealed through our Mesiras Nefesh. And how much anguish he gets and how much anguish the Rebbe gets when we don't do Mesiras Nefesh in order to reveal godliness. So when you wake up in the morning, he gives you. First thing in the morning. And look it up and do it like it says it in the Siddur, but at least when you wake up, before you wash your hands and your face, thank you, Hashem, for making me a Jew.
Bitzalel, I have an appeal.
Oh.
My dear brothers and sisters. And actually, Bitzalel, this one, it goes out and even to the Balabatim, especially to the Bachirim. You know, we're talking about this idea of Mesiras Nefesh. You know, back, I was there, you know. I remember back in the day, Mesiras Nefesh, the KGB was after you. But you know, there's a different kind of Mesiras Nefesh that's just as important. Is, you know, now is the summertime, and everybody going to the camps and to relax a little bit. And it's very important to remember that during this time, not to become lax in the keeping of Torah and mitzvahs. And remember, this is not just a time to run around and be meshugeh. It's a time to go on mivtzoyim. It means you have a little extra time to find a Jew who didn't put tefillin on yet, who didn't have the opportunity to put tefillin on today, and go help him put on tefillin and teach him how, and these kind of things.
And in case you're that Jew, chop on.
Go find the bacher. He's out there. He has a little extra time. And so this is what I want to say is, you know, the thing of Mesiras Nefesh means you have to remember also And remember, to wherever we go, people want to know who we are. So we tell them we are the Chassidim of the Rebbe. So remember who we are. We Chassidim of the Rebbe, and remember to always be representing.
Gezintahait.
Something of our being a fail of
Wait
Wait for the. Oh, wait, I'm gonna go. Oh, boy. Okay. Wait 1 second. Let me. Yeah. 1 second. Let me get ready. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm ready. Wait 1 second. Let me get ready. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm ready.
Gimmel Aleph, what's going on? Gimmel Aleph is on fire.
Was soll man sagen, was wird sein morgen, als dem Schenker wird uns borgen. Es mag doch sein, und wenn auch der Wein, nehmen wir a Kellerschickerei. Was soll man sagen, was wird sein morgen, als dem Schenker wird uns borgen. Es mag doch sein, und wenn auch der Wein, nehmen wir a Kellerschickerei. אני נוגע עמי, כי דם עבודו יקי, נוק יושיב לצורו, קיבל עושה ימי. נוגע עמי, כי דם עבודו יקי, ונוק יושיב לצורו, קיבל עושה ימי. Harvey no game, I'm with a mother of the game. I'm done your shit, so Harvey no game, I'm with a mother of the game. No come your shit, so ay, did am, ay, did I am, ay, did am, ay, did am, ay, did am, ay, did I am. Was wird sein morgen, als der Schenker wird uns borgen. Es geht doch sein, und wenn noch der Wein, nehmen wir a Kellerschickerei. Was soll man sagen, was wird sein morgen, als der Schenker wird uns borgen. Es geht doch sein, und wenn noch der Wein, nehmen wir a Kellerschickerei. אני נוגע עמי, כי דם עבודו יקי, ונוקם יושיב לצורו, וקיבל עמי. אני נוגע עמי, כי דם עבודו יקי, ונוקם יושיב לצורו, וקיבל עמי. Goyim, I'm a damn about the weekend. I'm going to show you, I'm no goyim, I'm a damn about the weekend. I'm going to show you, ay, didam, ay, didam, ay, didam, ay, didam, ay, didam, ay, didam, Hey, ay,
All right. Remember, kids, Gezintahait.